Okay, what's your name and where you from?
My name is Ladina Stanley, and I'm from Northwest Oklahoma,
Okay.
around Alba.
What brings you down here?
Well, I graduated from college
Okay.
at about the age 54, so it wasn't real long ago, but it was. I thought I would get a job up here. This is where my mom was born, and I wanted to start somewhere where I had some kind of roots. My grandfather lived here back in the day.
How old are you, would you say?
I'm 66 years old this
66.
year.
Would you say you're homeless?
Yes, I'm homeless.
Okay, what caused you to be homeless?
Well, I've been um, hit by a car and my arm, I didn't have a job. And I was raising kids and being a house mom for a long time. And then I never really had a job, so I went back to college. I got a degree, and I thought I could come up here and get a job real quick or somehow, even though I was so old. And I got up here, and the homeless problem was so big that and I just didn't have any connections here. Even though my mom was born here, I didn't have any connections. I had lost my two sons within the 5 years before actually. One, I lost my oldest son like 2 months before I graduated from college
Mm,
at age 54, and so I've had a lot of tragedy and just having a hard time getting stable.
okay, if you don't mind me asking, how did you lose your sons?
My oldest son committed suicide.
I'm sorry to hear that.
My youngest son was in a tent in Lawrence, Kansas, and it was a bad windstorm. They put too many tarps on the tent, and they had a heating oven that was not enough meant for a tent, and it was asphyxiated. So I felt like after a while it was my purpose to be here to tell people that because so many people get in a tent and they don't realize they've cut off the airflow and they've got a heating element that's sucking up all their oxygen. And anyway, my son and another guy died in the tent of asphyxiation.
Mm, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Would you say you do drugs?
I like to smoke marijuana, so yeah,
Okay.
I'm, go through that. But me and my oldest son, were going to come here because they legalized it,
Mm,
and that was the reason I was really coming here. But he, sometimes I feel like God needs us, and He'll take us home with Him any way possible. But it's not from Him. It's just that it's overwhelming what you think about suicide. So I
okay.
just really don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this. How would you say your childhood was growing up?
Um, I have a I have a decent childhood. My parents uh, had a business all my life. My mom was in the had a restaurant or was working in the restaurant, or and my dad he was in the oil field and had a gas station. Had a gas station. Then he went to the oil field. So they're hard workers, workaholics. I was lost alone a lot, but I watched TV and that was my babysitter.
Mm,
Um, Otherwise, it was good. It wasn't. It wasn't. I didn't get a lot of things. One or two toys at Christmas. I wasn't lavished with a lot, but we had enough. We had
okay.
enough, and
Okay.
that's what we need to realize.
Okay, that's good to hear. Would you say you felt love growing up?
Yeah, I did. I also felt lonely though too because my mom and dad were so busy all the time.
Mm,
I think parents should spend more time with their kids than they do. Maybe that's what I could get out of that.
mm. Do
But
you
I'm
have any
okay.
siblings?
Yeah, I have. There was five of us,
Oh, okay.
three brothers and a sister.
What would you say you learned way too early as a kid growing up?
About boys.
Mm. Okay, let me ask you this. Who would you say failed you when you were young? If
um,
nobody, nobody.
hmm, I, I don't think anybody really failed me. They were all there for me.
Okay.
And
What scared you the most growing up as a kid?
mm, I don't think anything's ever scared me that much. I don't walk in fear. I walk in fear of the Lord, but I don't walk in fear of anything. Because if you walk in fear, you conjure up fear in your life.
Who were you as a younger adult before being homeless? Like,
Well, I'm a lot like I was then. A lot like I was a young adult before I had kids and before I was homeless here. I'm a
okay.
lot like, what do you mean, like mentally? Or what?
Hmm?
You mean mentally? How was I?
No.
Uh,
I'm just saying, like, as a younger adult, like, what kind of life did you have? Did you
uh,
have good jobs? Like, did you, do certain things in life?
no, I got married and my husband worked in oil field, and then um, we divorced, and then I went to college and I raised my kids like that. So I never really got to have a good job,
Mm,
not a real good one. But I worked for my mom and dad a lot.
okay.
Work in the restaurant or the gas station.
Okay. When would you say life went left for you?
Uh, I don't think life went left for me. I think I've just been like, I think life is up and down. It's not what road we take so much as how we manage that road. And so I've had a lot of tragedy. So that's what I think by what you mean by going left. All the
Okay.
tragedies I've had. I lost 10 people in the span of 5 years of my life.
Mm,
That's a lot of people in your life that died.
right.
And two of them were your sons, and you're not supposed to outlive your kids.
Mm,
I have a lot of heartache, a lot of sorrow, but I don't think life is left for me yet. I think I'm doing a job right out here what I'm doing now. There's so many younger people they don't realize, and if I can leave them better than I found them that day, give them a bit of advice or something, and that's feel like that's my job now. Telling them about a kid and like you might suffocate in, or call your mom so she knows you love her, and stuff like that. And that's what I look for, those opportunities.
if you don't mind me asking, what happened to your arm?
Well, there at a time as a young, not a real young adult, but an older, mature adult, I I got back into a relationship with a guy, and we got in a fight, and you don't know what's going to happen in that time when you get, so fired up and mad. That's why we have to, keep our tempers down. Anything can happen. Life tragedies can happen. I lost my arm because he ran over me in the middle of a dispute.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. Mm. Would you say you guys have contact today? Like, do you guys
Oh
speak?
no, oh
Okay.
no. I haven't had contact with him since.
How long ago did this happen?
Um, it's been like going on 30 years, going on 30 years. Seems a lot longer.
Where would you say you sleep most nights? I know tonight, and it might be a little nice because it was kind of warm today, but I know it's a lot of days where it's cold out here. So where do you sleep most nights?
And sometimes I have a tent. Right now I don't have a tent, but on the street somewhere we'll stop as long as we're out of there in the morning and we've picked up. I think the people will leave us alone, and they'll get to know each and every one of us eventually. Until we get our house, and maybe they'll leave us alone. So I just got to watch my behavior
Okay.
as a homeless person, and not, just be one of those that don't care about, trash and picking up and cleaning up their mess.
Right.
I'm more mature though. A lot of them just don't know. You
Okay.
don't get that.
Do you have blankets out here?
Yeah, I have a couple blankets right now.
What would you say people misunderstand about you the most?
Um, well, I get misunderstood a lot, and I'm hoping that you guys understand me on this tape. But I don't have teeth, and it's hard for people to hear me. And a lot of people will say back to me what they thought I said, and it sounds completely different. So I don't know what it is.
Mm.
But I hope you guys understand me.
What did you lose, you would say, that still hurt you to this day?
My children,
Your
my two
children.
sons. That was before I was homeless.
Mm.
So, my two sons.
Is there a moment in life you wish you could redo?
No, because I wouldn't be who I am today if I had. That's how you make marvels. You build on them each day. You build on what you are each day. So I wouldn't be the marvel that I am because I wouldn't be who I am if I had done anything over.
What would you say scares you the most about the future?
Um, Maybe I'm not going to be around my other loved ones, my children back home. I
Mm.
plan on going back. I got a daughter and a son back in Oklahoma, and they got grandkids. So
Okay.
going back there, if I could, probably go today if I could, but I can't right now. So
Who do you feel let you down the most in life?
um, I don't think it really let me down. I you know, I've had some boyfriends broke up with and didn't like that, but as far as the people that did in my family and stuff, I the closest I could come would be to my sister. Me and my sister, like all sisters, fight.
Okay.
So maybe that because I feel like I did my share and she doesn't.
Would you say you still got a good relationship with your family today?
I wouldn't say it's good.
Okay.
It's at a distance,
Okay.
and that's not always good at all.
Right.
But I have one.
Do you still talk to your parents?
My parents have passed on.
Sorry to hear that. Okay. What's one thing you want the people watching this to understand about you?
Um, just understand that everybody doesn't know everything at every minute of the day. I mean, people learn every day, and there might be somebody out there that doesn't know what you're trying to tell them or show them in life. And be patient. Be patient with them. Don't jump to conclusions and assumptions real quick, and deal with them on one to one. Don't deal with another person in them, and don't make fun of each other.
Okay.
Making fun of people is the most awfulest thing, and pointing fingers at people who are innocent, I think, is just as bad as what that person might have done.
Okay.
And so, no point fingers at the innocent.
What's one decision you made that still affects your life today?
Um, that I started college and at a late time in my life, and I still pull on it. I still pull on it. I don't care if I don't have a job in what or career and what I went to college for. It was the smartest thing I've done because it expanded my mind.
Okay. That's good to hear. What keeps you going out here on these streets, man, when life feels unfair?
Um, well, I've always been the kind of person that when something happens to me, I know whatever the outcome, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And, God's got his hands on me. And so I know I'm going to be okay. But um, I just, by the third day of something bad happening, or maybe even the next day, I'm up and still going with an attitude of motivation. And yeah, I'm going to tell you, there can be something bad it doesn't have to be every day. It could be two or three things in one day.
Mm.
This life is tough, it's hard. And you just got to not let it affect you and know that you're going to be okay.
Okay. Do you feel like your life turned out wrong?
No, I think it turned out how it was supposed to. My feet were destined by God way before I was born. And I don't try to make plans or I don't keep calendars, and I hardly ever keep the time of day. So it's just, I know that way I didn't plan it. Somebody else didn't plan it. So I must be walking in the feet that God gave me to walk, and the path that God was, and in the path that God gave me to walk.
Okay. What's one of the hardest mistakes that you made in life that still affects you to today?
Not being tougher to my youngest son that passed away. When he was 18, he came to me and said, Mom, I'm going to go be a man. And I let him walk out that door, and I just had some better thinking skills and word skills. I would have kept him home.
Mm,
But it is what it is. You can't save something by keeping it in a cage. You can't
right.
save something like that. You have to let them free and
Okay.
let them do what they do in life.
What's something that you survived that nobody ever checked on you about?
Uh, One time, I'm laughing a little bit, but this is how extreme it can get. One time, I bought this tent that was a fishing tent. Now, a fishing tent does not have a bottom. And if you close up all the windows on it, it can become, if you let it, don't have weights on it or something holding it down, it can become like an air balloon.
Mm,
And um, me and my guy got in an argument. He took the grocery cart off of the tent that was holding it down. And the wind came up and the rain came up for 9 hours. At that spot, I cried for help, holding on to that tent so it wouldn't fly off of me. Because
mm,
I don't know if I'd made it through the rainstorm. It was cold, and it was really crazy. There's been a lot of crazy stuff happen to me here, and living this life, living this kind of life, that I would never have imagined. But that does happen in life, and I've survived every one of them, so I'm not afraid of too much anymore.
mm.
Uh,
Okay.
Mother Nature scares me. That's what,
Hmm.
you never know.
Right.
But I don't walk in fear of it.
What hurts more, being abandoned or being misunderstood?
Being misunderstood. I
Mm,
was never abandoned. I don't think I've ever been abandoned, but
okay.
I'm misunderstood a lot. A
Okay.
lot. It's just, I pop out the wrong thing. I'm always popping off and saying something, and I'm not thinking about it. So I've got to start thinking about what I say and not jump into that conversation so quickly. Those are my faults, so that's why I pointed them out. Sometimes we just jump into it too quick. We
Okay.
got to step back and think about it.
What's one of the hardest truths about the streets that nobody ever want to talk about?
That the guy next to you is going to steal something the minute you stand up and walk away from your stuff.
Mm,
That's what I thought. No way, not everybody's like that, but it's a lot like that in this community
mm,
of homelessness, and it's sad.
okay.
But yeah,
What's a warning that you would give to younger people about the streets?
um, just don't go so hard. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't go so hard, and take time to explore the things that are innocent in the world instead of the bad things. And if you um, um, if you come across an older person or somebody that's elderly or something, give them respect. Give them respect because they've earned it. They've been out here and living a long time, and they need your help. I'm disabled. I have a lot of help from the younger population of homeless people because they are a better mannered group, a better mannered generation than my generation was, I'm sure. So just give respect and help out and pay attention. Pay attention to what's around you.
Okay. What's one of the hardest things to accept while being out here on the streets?
Right now for me is that it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold tonight. And I'm waiting for a summer, but even on the, seemed like the beginning of this last year's summer, it was colder than the winter.
Mm,
So right now for me, it's my arthritis and my old age. I can't be out here very much longer. I'm really trying to get off the street right now.
Okay. Do you feel like this will be your life forever?
No, no. But sometimes I wish I would at least have the motivation to do the things that I'm doing out here. And, because I think that if not, I'd be a couch potato and I'd end up dying younger.
Hmm.
I don't think I, would live too old to be too old if I was in all the time. So I've got to balance the two,
Okay.
learn to balance the two.
What would you say is harder to find out here on the streets? Food or somewhere to sleep?
Somewhere to sleep.
Somewhere to sleep.
Somewhere
Mm.
to sleep more than one night.
Mm.
um, just packing up every day is putting the wear and tear on me. And on the weekends, they're pretty relaxed about us. And we can get maybe 3 days, but that's the longest time that you can really get at one place,
Mm.
at one night or one setting.
Would you say you ever be scared some nights, like, knowing that you're real tired and you want to go to sleep, but you feel like somebody might do something to you in your sleep or something?
Well, yeah, sometimes I feel like that, but I try to have somebody around me when I'm really tired like that, and I
Okay.
know I'm going to be tired like that. But again, like I said, I don't walk in fear, so I don't think of what might happen. I think of what's happening. I'm
Okay.
paying attention to what's happening around me right then.
Right.
Because if I think that every day I'm going to conjure it up, somebody's going to know I'm thinking about it, they're going to end up, doing exactly what I'm thinking. Or, the devil hears you. The devil hears your thoughts, and he'll send something your way that you're afraid of,
Mm.
just to get you, to poke at you, till
Mm.
you'll bend. So I would say that.
Okay. Have you ever went a full day without eating?
Um, yeah, I'll probably have. Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, let me ask you this. If your family saw this, what's something that you would want them to know?
that I love them, and that I'm okay. I am okay, no matter what they think. And my son keeps telling me, well, this, I hope those people around you aren't hurting you or bothering you or taking from you. And I tell him that nobody's taking from me anything more than what God would have let them have. If they need it more than I do, they can have it. I wish they'd asked,
Hmm.
but things don't mean that much to me anymore. Personal items and stuff don't
Okay.
mean that much. Just the food.
Okay.
And
What's one rule you say you live by out here?
I live by finding, leaving somebody's path better than what I found it in some way, if I can.
What did the streets teach you faster than life ever did?
Can't trust everyone, but I have a trusting soul, and I don't care. You can do me wrong. I might not see you for 6 months, but I'm gonna treat you the same. And
Okay.
so I really haven't learned not to trust everyone. And I just feel like God's saying that's not right. The trust is what will make them become straighter in their walk.
Okay. How do it make you feel when people judge you out here?
I just, but they just don't know. Like I said, everybody doesn't know everything. And then I look at them like, well, they're I want to say, I don't like to say this, but they're ignorant to what is happening
Mm.
and what is going on. So I can't judge because I'm not the judge. I'm not
Okay.
a judge.
Okay. One last question. What would you tell someone younger, walking in your shoes?
Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself first. That's something I can't ever do. I'm just so giving and caring. But don't let them take that for, and don't let them take your kindness for weakness. Be strong.
Okay. All right, that's gonna conclude our questions for the day. I really appreciate you for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.